tell me one food. If you eat that food, you will be rewarded. You will be rewarded for eating that food. Is there a hadith that if you eat rewarded, you will get points, hasanat? Yes. Honey, we're going to talk about honey. It has a lot of blessings, but I'm not talking about blessed foods. I'm talking about rewards, hasanat. Some foods which are very blessed, maybe 6-7 foods, and some foods which are haram, which are cursed. So today we're just going to talk about ZamZam, and then I will end with that. There are a lot of things that we have to learn about ZamZam. I want to take a little bit tangent and go into a little bit detail about ZamZam itself, because ZamZam is, as I said, is the only food which if you drink, you will be rewarded. Okay? So ZamZam water, when you compare all the foods, all the water that you have, ZamZam water is the best, is the freshest, is the blessed, and it is the most precious water that you can think of. Okay, it is the most beloved water as well, right? So how we treat it, and I'm going to talk about the etiquettes of drinking ZamZam as well. But scholars said that drinking ZamZam is a sign of faith, and why they said that and what a hadith they quote, I'm going to get into it. But in general, this is an act of worship. ZamZam, it's just if you just want to drink it to satisfy your thirst, you still get rewards for it. And if you drink it, even if you have no need for drinking, you still get rewarded for it. So it's an act of worship, and it is mustahab. It is highly recommended that you drink this water, and it is pure and it is blessed. And we have a hadith from Sahih al-Jami here. The best water on the face of the earth is the water of ZamZam, and it is a kind of food and a healing from sickness. So, and it is as a hadith as well in which Rasulullah ﷺ was having conversation with Abu Dharr radiallahu anhu, a famous Sahabi, right? We mentioned the story a few times. And his story was that he came to Makkah at that time, the prophetic time, when Prophet ﷺ was, very much disapproved by the pagans, where he was spreading the message of Islam. So Abu Dharr was not really comfortable asking people who is this prophet. He wanted to meet the prophet, but he didn't meet, and he stayed in Kaaba, Masjid al-Haram, for 40 days. For 40 days, and those 40 days, Rasulullah, when he met him, he asked, Ya Abu Dharr, what did you eat in this 40 days? He said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I only drank water those 40 days, and I got fat because of it. And I'm not thin, I didn't eat anything, but I got fat, and I have folds in my stomach now. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that verily this ZamZam, it is blessed, it is a food that nourishes, it gives you energy, it nourishes you, it will take care of your food as well. So it has this special blessing. This is mentioned in Sahih Muslim as well. And we're going to talk about it. This is a whole section. And another thing is that the Sunan Ibn Majah, let's get into it. The Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that the water is ZamZam, the water of ZamZam is for whatever it is drunk for, what the Shaykh just recited. That's a hadith from Sunan Ibn Majah. So basically what it means that when you drink it, whatever dua you make, it will be accepted. Very high chance of that getting accepted. That's a hadith from Rasulullah. So whatever it is, whatever you intend, you will be rewarded for it. So common dua that Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, he used to make this dua, that whenever you drink ZamZam, you say this dua, Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafiya wa rizqan wasi'a, and then wa shifa ala min kulli da'in. So basically it means, oh Allah, grant me beneficial knowledge, give me rizq which is very bountiful, and give healing to me from every disease. That's what it means. So this is the dua that's commonly recited, and we also see shuyukh mentioning dua whenever, like Abdullah ibn Mubarak rahmatullah alayh, he used to say, "Oh Allah, uh, uh, ward my thirst on the day of resurrection," when he used to drink ZamZam. So he used to relate these two waters. So, on the day of resurrection, this was a very terrible time, and he used to make that, "Oh Allah, that day I don't want to be thirsty." So that's the dua he used to make. Okay. Before we get into the etiquettes, I just wanted to share with you some history of ZamZam, how it really came about. All of you know the story of Ismail alayhi salam, right? I don't want to get into all the details, how the angel Jibril alayhi salam came and he struck the ground with his wing and the water started to come out. So you know that whole story. But this ZamZam water, during the Prophet's time, how was it? It used to be a form of well, right? It started from the Hajar alayhi salam, when she said, the water was coming out, she said ZamZam, basically meaning stop, and and she formed a well. Because of that, it is still a well. So what happened was that during that time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they made like a boundary, a fence around the ZamZam, and it used to be like a stoned fence. And then after a few years, the many Khalifas came, the Abbasids, the Umayyads, and they made like a dome on the for this ZamZam, and they decorated it with marbles and mosaic and all those things. So currently, where is this well, by the way? How far is it from Kaaba? Do you know? Where is it? It's like no, it's east of Kaaba, just like 20 meters away, you can say, east of it. Yeah. So, and it is currently, it is like 2 meters, and in depth it is like 30 meters, something like that. Important thing that you should remember is that the last Ottoman Sultan, right? What was his name? Abdul Hamid II. What he did was that people were increasing for Hajj, and this ZamZam well was coming in the way and it was getting very difficult. So what he did was that he moved it. He basically in order to make it easier for people or the pilgrims, he moved it away from its original location. The well is still there, but now even if you make tawaf, you don't really hit the well, right? Because it's easy for us even now. So that's still being continued. And I'm going to show some pictures how it is right now today, how the ZamZam water is pumped and so on. But you have to remember that this whole ZamZam water, it's a miraculous water. Okay, it's a miraculous water. It's not ordinary water, and it never dries. And it is said that millions of liters of water is consumed every year. Millions. Yeah, sometimes there was this drought one time and they made the well a little bit deeper, but it again replenishes itself. So one time they did do that. So anyway, so let's get into one other thing. That this is the picture that I wanted to show you, how they went inside the well and they took the pictures how the water comes out of that well. So this water just the rocks that are inside the well, the water just comes out and that forms in the well, that the level rises up. So that's how water gets in.
It was cleaned a couple of times.
Yeah, they put a lot of things in order to in order to
bottles and money and whatever.
And that's why you cannot even see it right now. It's visitors are not allowed. Visitors are not allowed. But I have some pictures that I can show you, inshallah. So let's get into the etiquettes of drinking ZamZam water itself. Okay. So first of all, scholars mention that you should face the Qibla. Okay. Just like any good deed that we do, like reading Quran, we face the Qibla. It's not compulsory, but we do many things which are blessed. We should face the Qibla. So that's one of them. The scholar said you should do it, and they said, this is one thing that many people don't know. Many people say that you should stand while drinking ZamZam. Why? Because some scholars, they said that Abdullah ibn Masud radiyallahu anhu, he brought ZamZam to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam during Hajj, and he drank ZamZam water while standing. while standing. So that's why they said ZamZam water should always be drunk while standing. But the scholars mention that he was standing that time because it was the occasion of Hajj. And in Hajj how so many people make Hajj, and it's very difficult to sit down sometimes. So there's so much of crowd flow going on. So that's why, in order to make it easy, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam wanted to show people that it is sometimes permissible to stand and drink. And it happened to be ZamZam water in that particular instance. And we mentioned during etiquettes of ZamZam, etiquettes of drinking, that it is permissible sometimes to stand and drink if there is a need. But generally speaking, any form of water or any form of drink, you should sit down and drink. And the next thing is that you should say Bismillah as in any food, and drink in 3 breaths. Drink in 3 breaths. So we covered this already in etiquettes of drinking. Not just drink in one go, even if you are thirsty. And this 5th one is many people don't know. You have to drink to the fill. It's high recommendation. High recommendation. Why do we say that? Where do we get that? We always should ask why. Where is it? So it's a hadith in Ibn Majah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, the difference between a believer and a munafiq and a hypocrite is the drinking of one's fill of ZamZam water. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he specifically differentiated us from the munafiq. But what is the characteristic? Muslims drink this particular water with, they fill it up. So as much as you can drink, that's how you should drink ZamZam. So remember, it's a worship. Every drop that you drink, you will be rewarded for it. And obviously after you finish drinking, you say Alhamdulillah, praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you make as many du'as as possible. Make many du'as. I mentioned one du'a to you, but the scholars mentioned that if you really make the du'a with a lot of hope and trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this gives so many examples how the poverty was removed, how the sicknesses was removed of people. There's so many examples that I can give. I do not have time for it. But just remember, don't take it lightly, brothers. I can really give you so many examples. People were literally cured completely. Doctors have no idea how this person got cured really. They thought it is incurable disease. They drank water and it's all gone. You just believe that this water can create miracles. Why? Because this ZamZam water is just not ordinary water. It was created out of a miracle, right? Angel Jibril alayhi salam was involved. And it has these miraculous properties. It has blessings, direct hadith and direct hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that it is a healing. It is a healing. Okay, the Prophet himself said it. And another thing is that, another etiquette, you should sprinkle on head, face, and chest. Whether it's men or women, it is something that we should do. Many people don't do it, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, again, take everything from the Prophet. He used to do that. He used to put water on the head of people, the sick people, just put it on their head. So this is again something that we should practice. And carrying and sharing. So if you go for Umrah or Hajj, you bring something with you. Don't just say, oh, it's a blessed water, I'm going to drink. I'm going to bring from Saudi and I'm going to keep it in my house and drink it myself, whole thing, because it is very blessed. Don't do that. Etiquette is that you share it with people. Why? Because it was the practice of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He used to always take some water with him. Okay, and as I said, he used to pour it on the sick people, poor people, and give them to drink as well. Just a quick thing. When is the preferred time of drinking ZamZam water? When it becomes very important to drink ZamZam water. Right after tawaf, when you complete tawaf, you pray 2 rak'ah near Maqam Ibrahim, right? And then you drink ZamZam water. That's very highly recommended time. That's a sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Can we use it for wudu?
Yes.
Can we use it for wudu? Yes, we can use it for wudu. This is a proven practice from the Prophet himself. He used to make wudu. Now, the scholars, however, they mentioned that you should not use ZamZam water to clean filth. Okay, to clean anything impure, you should not use it. It's not from the etiquette. You know, we're talking about blessed water here, right? So you got to give respect to that. Okay, so you should not use for removing other thing. But you can wash clothes. You know, that's okay. But when it comes to filth, you have to pay a little respect to it. Are you allowed to sell ZamZam water? So the scholars mentioned that what you really mean by selling is a question here. If you say that I'm going to take out water and just sell it like this for taking out, then that is prohibited. But if you are bottling it and if you are carrying it from place to place, so there is man hours involved, right? So in that case, it is permitted to add that service for into the money. But water itself is free. You cannot charge for money, but if you add a service to it, then it is okay to sell ZamZam water that way. Okay, this is how it looks right now. So all they do today is that they pump it directly from the well. They have this pipe that coming out, and it's closed. Visitor section, it's closed now. You can't go inside it. You cannot see, but millions of liters of water, they just come out of this pipe here.
Only the foreign dignitaries go.
Yeah, foreign dignitaries do a lot of things. They can go even inside the Kaaba and pray there. Yeah, they do a lot of things. But this is basically, it's not a huge well. It's just 2 meters in diameter, 30 meters down. So, inshallah, so anybody, do we have ZamZam today? I wish we had. But so always.
I have some ZamZam like 10 years back.
Mm-hmm.
In a bottle. What do you think to drink this?
I have in the shop.
You have to remember that one time in UK it was a famous news that they spread this news that ZamZam water is poisonous. Do not drink ZamZam water. It was actually recent. Why they said was that they found that in this bottled water there was arsenic content in it. There was arsenic content, and it was in BBC that ZamZam has arsenic content. It's not safe to drink. So Saudi authorities were very quick, and they said that yes, it contains arsenic, but it is so small amount that it is well above the standards of WHO, World Health Organization. So actually what happens when they sell, they put it in this bottle, and maybe this bottle contaminates the water.